Hi, guys. We have the most unique podcast guest. We have never had somebody like this. We have an animal communicator, Michael Burke. Thank you for joining us. No, we're not barking.
Thank you. Is that a welcome?
Yes, that's a welcome. I don't know if you guys can see, but we have both dogs here ready to be judged. But before we judge them, I have so many questions for you. I'm sure many people do because you have such a unique job. First of all, what is an animal communicator? Is that intuitive? Is it telepathic? Is it energetically? How would you define what that is?
All three.
Okay.
I always define it at all three. I intuitively, energetically, and telepathically communicate and connect with animals. So it's me tuning into them, reading their energy. And for me, I'll get a feeling. Sometimes it's a picture in my mind. It comes through pictures, sometimes words, sometimes feelings. And then I share that information back in that same way. So I'll just share a feeling, I'll share an image, and there's this energetic exchange where sometimes it's an inner knowing, where that's the intuitive part.
Okay.
But it goes really deep. It goes really deep. And sometimes I'll hear things, sometimes it's just a sensing of an inner knowing of what they're feeling. And then I kind of find the vibe that they're on and just ride that vibration back and forth. Does that make sense?
Can they understand that you can understand them? Is there some openness that they know that they're kind of being heard and listened to?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So the way I do it is I energetically present myself. I present myself in a way that is humble and that's warm and accepting, and they can feel that energetic vibration from me. I'm sort of creating a space of calm surrender with them.
Okay.
And so, it depends on the animal. Sometimes they can be a little shy or reluctant or apprehensive, sort of like what's going on, depending on their sensitivity.
Okay.
But yeah, their instinctual selves usually know what's going on.
Wow. How did you know, when did you first discover that you had this, did you just walk into a room and all of a sudden you were feeling all of these animal energies?
As a kid, I was feeling it in the neighborhood. I had a dog, we had a cat, I had a ferret, and I just assumed that was normal to just be feeling, just sort of getting these downloads from them, sensing how they were feeling. But I started to notice it more. We had an Irish Terrier.
Okay.
I'm 200% Irish. And my dad's like, we have to have an Irish Terrier.
Right.
And we went to a dog training class and I was feeling all of the dogs in the room. I could just sense there were 30 dogs in this room. And I was just feeling all of this energy, these conversations going on. They were using dog whistles. I was hearing the dog whistles and nobody else was hearing them. And so that's when I started to, I was probably 9, and I was sensing something was a little different, but it was still just normal to me and normal within my family. I'm the youngest of 6 kids. And everybody was very open to this stuff. It was a very Catholic upbringing.
Okay.
But I think because of that, my parents being old school Catholic, they were into saints and angels and a higher power, being aware of the subtle realms in a sense. So we all talked about that. And it was very much an environment of talking about our vibes and our intuition and our dreams and energy and the ghosts in the attic. And then also our animals, sensing our animals. And I feel like everybody in my family had sort of a knack with animals. And I just sort of ran with it. As I got older, I started to explore intuition and energy and telepathy and tarot cards and astrology and strengthening those muscles. And I started to do readings for people. It just sort of happened naturally. People were coming to me for advice and coaching and, oh, could you read my tarot cards? And I would be doing those readings. They were very successful. And then people would say, well, could you maybe read my dog or my cat?
Whoa.
And it just started taking off that way. I was like, okay, well, I'll just give it a shot. I mean, I was reading animals in my own life, in my personal animals and in the neighborhood and stuff, just by nature, just sensing them. But people started to say, can you tune into my animals? I'm facing a behavioral challenge or something's going on. And I it was working. Like it just was working out. I was able to help people. And so I was like, all right, I'm just showing up. I'm here to help. How can I help?
Whoa.
And it just started to snowball from
Did
there.
that ever feel like a burden, or did you feel empowered by it? Because I have to imagine that even as a young kid, was there ever that moment of like, whoa, this is like a responsibility that I can speak for, you know, I feel like we're all so protective of animals because they don't have a voice, and you essentially kind of are this voice for them. That ever feel like a burden or a pressure for you?
Yeah, it did. It did feel like a burden and a pressure early on. I was feeling a lot, very sensitive,
Mm-hmm.
not knowing where to have boundaries
Mm-hmm.
or, what's mine, what's not mine. And being in situations where people were treating their animals poorly, like I go over to a friend's house, and the way back then, especially, there wasn't an awareness of behavior and sensitivity to animals like there is now, I
Mm-hmm.
feel. And so they just locking a dog outside or heavy handedness, it
Mm-hmm.
was really hard to watch that. And I would speak up sometimes, and then I would get in trouble for that, not in my own house, but outside. And
Yeah.
so just having to learn how to have boundaries and know I can't save everybody.
Yeah.
And with people too, picking up people's energy. I used to always say I'd be on the bus. I grew up in Chicago.
Okay.
And so I'd be on the bus, like going downtown to work in my early 20s, and everybody was wanting to like talk to me. And it's like, hi,
Yeah.
how are you?
Yeah.
Wanting to connect. Good, how are you?
No, he's not talking
We're
to you.
not talking to you yet. No, yes, but you know how it is, right? I know it's a lot.
You are so talkative. Wow. Do you are you able to stop? It's so weird. It's like he knows though. Like he's very vocal.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's that energy. I know.
Hey.
Right. It's the energy.
Yeah, he's gonna talk to you soon. You take a nap, rest up. Are you able to close that in order for a boundary? Like, are you able to be like, I'm gonna close off that part of me when I enter this space, or is it kind of just always coming into your brain?
I've learned how to close it off.
Okay.
I've learned how to close it off. I call it bubbling up.
Okay.
Where I'll just imagine that I'm in like a bubble of white light, or I'll use white light if I really need to like protect myself in certain situations, or I'll imagine pink light, pink
Okay.
energy. For me, that's an energy where I'm able to give and share and connect and receive what I'm meant to receive without taking in anything that's too overwhelming.
Got it.
So I can engage and not be totally cut off. But I've learned to utilize that to sort of, I call it bubbling up in
Okay.
certain, or like at concerts or, public transportation, where there's just a lot of energy, and it's after experiencing the overwhelm and feeling really taxed and drained. And even, still sometimes I'll come out of situations or places where I'll feel like, okay, that was a lot.
Yeah.
But I've learned to strengthen my muscles to cope and then be able to help, help people and animals.
Do you can you have that connection with all species? Is there a certain animal or breed that you find is like very closed off? Like for an example, are cats like much sassier than dogs when you're communicating with them, or are there some that are just like naturally more closed off?
It really, yeah, there are trends in species.
Okay.
Definitely cats are a little sassier is a
Okay.
good way, sometimes sort of like bitchier.
Yep.
Their terms.
Yeah.
But there are dogs that can be that way too.
Okay.
So it really just depends on the energy and the personality. But there are certain trends. There are in breeds, even, not to generalize, but sometimes like the golden retrievers often can be a little bit more, and nothing against golden retrievers, but they can be a little simpler, or especially labs, like
they're just derpy little.
I like my ball. And I like my bed.
Right.
Simple. And then there are like border collies or German shepherds that are like, there's much more going on in their heads. And
interesting.
So yeah, there are trends in different breeds and species, and same with cats too, different kinds of cats, feral cats and domesticated cats.
What's the craziest kind of interaction you've ever had with an animal, whether it be like they just told you something crazy that either changed their owner's life or something hilarious. Just what's the most out of pocket thing you remember?
Oh gosh. There's been so many. Let me think. There was a cat that was telling well, actually, it was a personal story. When I was a kid,
Uh-huh.
I was having dreams of a cat being trapped, and I was like, I was probably around 11, and I would come down in the morning and tell my dad, I'm having this dream that this cat is being trapped. It's like enclosed, it's trapped. I'm wondering if this is something real. And my dad was like, oh, probably not. It's probably a dream. But I kept having this reoccurring dream over several days.
Whoa.
And so I said to my dad, I feel like there's like a cat around in the neighborhood that's somehow trapped. And I don't know how to go about dealing with this. He's like, well, we're not going door to door to,
Yeah.
ask about this. Well, about a week later, there were flyers around the neighborhood that there was a cat missing. So we were clued in that there was a cat missing. And I said to my dad, I feel like that this is the cat that I'm picking up on in my dreams. We were walking our dog, the Irish Terrier, in the neighborhood, and the house behind us on another street, at the garage, when we were walking by, we heard like a meowing in the garage. And I just felt like, I said to my dad, I feel like this is the
Oh.
cat. And so we went to the door, and it's an older couple that lived there. They're very old. They were like in their 80s. And we said, do you have a cat? We're hearing a cat in your garage. And they said, no, we don't have a cat. But they went in their garage. There was a cat trapped in their garage. Their housekeeper had locked this neighborhood cat in their garage because it had been digging up the flower bed in their property and using the flower bed as a litter box. And the housekeeper, was kind of nuts and crotchety.
Yeah.
And so they were pretty old. They didn't ever go in their garage,
Right.
and they didn't know to look in their garage, and they probably weren't hearing very well. And so this was the cat that was essentially
Oh my
held
God.
hostage. And my dad was like, oh, wow. Like, to me, like turning to me like, oh my God, wow.
Yeah.
So that was a big, back, you asked before, like, when did I know that this was really something?
Yeah.
Or when I was feeling it, that was a huge game changer for me.
Uh-huh.
And that always struck me as being like, okay, wow, that I had no relationship with this cat. I wasn't hearing it audibly, like in the middle of the night or anything.
Yeah.
I was seeing these visions of it, almost like help, like
Yeah.
with its hands against a window or something in my mind, like help, help. And I think I just was picking up on its frequency, and we were able to connect the dots. Like,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Did you when this cat was saved, did you tell the owners of the cat kind of like how this started, that you were having these, or
Yeah, I did. And they were like,
did they think you were nuts?
well, no, actually they didn't. They were they were
Wow.
happy because they got their cat back. And, in hindsight, I think that they looked at me as like a little kid. You know how we sometimes look at little kids
Yeah.
now, like, oh, they have something, or they're seeing things we don't see.
Yep.
It was that kind of energy, now that you mention it, where they just looked at me like, oh, you knew.
Yeah.
You knew something.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. That's got to be where some of the pressure though came from, right? Like, you just saved a cat as a kid. You're like, damn, I can't be saving all the animals. Like, that's got to be a really hard thing to navigate even now.
It is. And even with lost cases, people come to me wanting help with lost animals, and it's a lot. Like,
Yeah.
it's because sometimes things are meant to happen
Yeah.
for a reason, and there's a reason why that animal's gone.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a reason for them to come back. And
Yeah.
maybe I'm a part of that. Maybe I'm, part of the synchronicities to bring the reuniting of the two of them, but maybe not. And so, and it takes a lot of energy out of me, because I can feel the person
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like, my dog is gone, please help. And I'm wanting to help, and I'm offering as much as I can get. And in situations like that, like with lost cases, I'll look at a Google map, like the last location the animal was at. Maybe it's their home.
Uh-huh.
And I'll tune into the animal, like I'll use a photo or a video or whatever, and then I'll look at the Google Maps and I'll see what lights up on the map. And then I'm connecting in with the animal saying like, show me what you're seeing and what you're feeling. And so sometimes I'll see something like it could be like a bell or a
Whoa.
structure of some kind, but it's like a game of charades for me. And so I might be seeing a bell, but it may not literally be a bell. It could be something shaped kind of like that.
Got it. Okay.
And so there's a lot to interpret, and it's also up to the person to be able to take that information. And I've had success in it, which is great, but I always try to manage expectations with it. And I just say to myself and other people, I can't save everybody.
Yeah.
Like if this is meant to be, so be it.
Yeah.
Maybe you came to me for a reason, so I'll help if I can.
Yeah.
And if we succeed, then great, yay. But
yeah,
it's pressure.
Oh yeah. Okay, you have animals currently?
Yeah, I do.
They must be they have to be the most perfect animals, right? Like, do they have any issues?
They've had.
Damn,
issues.
I need to bring you over all the time, like, because have you been able to acknowledge any of those issues and kind of like make changes to make sure everything kind of flows correctly?
Yeah. But
what a gift.
I have my own life lessons too. And they come into my life to teach me things.
Sure.
And so they're things that I've learned from them that I can use to help other people all the time.
Yeah.
And so I'll face challenges. I've faced challenges probably with every single one of them. I have 3 dogs currently, 3 Australian Shepherds and 6 cats. Which is kind of a new thing. 4 of them came this year. But
was this like occupational hazard that these were cats that needed saving and you?
Yes,
I'm sure that happens
one after another, and I befriended somebody in rescue work.
Okay, and you were doomed from there.
Yeah, she's like, you got we've got this huge catio that we built.
Okay,
and so it's this epic, sanctuary. Pretty much, it's bigger. Like when the rescue saw us for the first cat, they were like, "Oh my God, this is bigger than some of our facilities." And so they, had not dollar signs in their eyes, but like hearts in their eyes, like, "Oh my gosh, you're a great resource." And so, now we're up to 6. But there have been some, there are little challenges with each one. Well, not all of them, but I've run into my share of behavioral challenges with my dogs and my cats. But I've learned how to navigate through them. And I, I'm not one that's like everything has to be perfect. Like my dogs don't have to be.
Right, they're dogs.
They're dogs.
Oh, right,
yeah.
Of course.
And some people are that way. I'm actually trained as a dog trainer too.
Oh my God, we need to have you over all the time. You bring yours, we'll have a whole party. Oh my God.
Yeah. And that came from because I was doing readings with people with dogs, and they would, and cats too. And I'd say to them, well, this is what's going on with your dog. This is what they're thinking and feeling. You just need a dog trainer.
Yeah. Okay.
And rather than sending them off to a dog trainer, I thought, well, maybe I learned those hands-on
Well, it seems
skills.
like it would be hand in hand with what you're already able to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I became a certified dog trainer. I went and studied with Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer.
Oh my God.
And became a member of his team.
Wow.
And so and then on the human side, I got into life coaching. I was already doing readings for people early on.
Okay.
But then I went through certification programs to learn how to formally life coach so I can incorporate that into the equation, because a lot of times when there are things going on with animals, it has to do with the human's energy. And so I'll share, okay, this is what's happening with your animal. Here are some behavioral techniques to address those issues, but let's talk about you and your energy.
Interesting. I mean, that's like, what an awesome skill set that you have, because all of those things, I mean, I even just my very minimal reading always talks about how they if something happens and I'm stressed, I try to be aware of it because I know that they'll pick up on it. And I notice the difference when I actively show them that I'm stressed. But that's like the fact that you have all of those skill sets. You are like, is that not the coolest thing? Okay. So, do you prefer, I guess, well, I have to imagine that if you're working as a dog trainer, do you naturally feel like when you're doing that training, you kind of tap into that too and allow that to kind of help your dog training as well?
Yes.
Like that's just, they go hand in hand.
Yeah, totally.
And you've written a book.
Yes.
Talk to me about the process when you did that, and kind of what that's all about.
Yeah. So the book is called Intuitive Animal Communication, Co-Create a Meaningful Life and Deep Connection with Animals. And the book came about, it came out of an online course I created during the pandemic. And I was working with people one-on-one, but a lot of people were coming to me saying they wanted to learn how to do it themselves, or they wanted to learn how to better guide their animals and manage their own energy. And I was feeling like the work that I just shared with you. There's the animal communication, there's the coaching, there is the behavior and training. I wanted to combine all of that into a holistic resource that could guide people, especially during the pandemic when people didn't have resources, in person. So being able to do things on video. So I created this course, and then from that, I decided to write a book. Actually, a publisher, Hay House, which is a spiritual personal development publisher, came to me and said that they were interested in having me write a book. So I said, well, how about we base it on this course that I created? So the book is first focusing on your own energy.
Okay.
Meditation, calming yourself down, finding ways to meditate.
Read that.
Yeah, I have a copy
I know,
of it
I need
for
to read
you.
it.
Yeah. And tuning into your own intuition, how to strengthen your intuitive muscles, like how to read your environment, how to recognize how you receive information. Is it clairvoyant? Are you seeing things? Are you clairsentient? Are you feeling things? Are you clairaudient, hearing things? Are you claircognizant? Are you just knowing? Is it an inner knowing? Recognizing how you receive information, but most importantly, quieting your mind on a regular basis so you can tune into that, because we're so caught up in our devices and our schedules and the vibration of life in cities and people, and it's a lot to be distracted by.
Oh, yeah.
So just tuning inward, quieting all of that, noticing the subtle energies around ourselves, and most importantly, within ourselves. That's like the first step of the book. And then I go into the animal communication, different methods, different meditations, and different ways of communicating with different animals, wild or home, domesticated animals, different species, in the afterlife, ones that have passed, living, sensing all of that. And then the third part of the book is getting into like behavior issues and how to address those, but using your intuition and energy to shift behavior. But then the biggest part of it really is manifestation principles, connecting into the vision, the feeling, and the frequency of how you want to feel, how your animals want to feel, really almost like creating an energetic vision board for your pack, for your family, and connecting into that, connecting into the elevated emotion of love for them unconditionally, and then tuning into what you desire, and then creating good behavior or new experiences together. Maybe it's like dreaming of a new sort of life and path together, but then how to do that. So that's a big part of it too.
Wow.
And it came out a year ago.
I need to read that fucking book yesterday. Yeah. This is the book. This is the book. We're going to, we'll give you all the plugs at the end, but
and there's an audiobook too, where I have the meditations and stuff too. It's available everywhere.
That's been my dad actually every day calls me and he says, "Did you quiet your mind today? Did you quiet your mind today?" My dad is far more versed in doing that, and it's been something not from the level that you're at, but my energy, I'm so drained. I feel like I'm very much a outgoing, sometimes life of the party. I put that pressure on me of making people feel included and feel welcomed. And then every time I come home, I feel so hungover, and I'm definitely really bad at protecting my energy. I feel like I soak everybody's up. And then in turn, what they get at the end of the day is the irritable, stressed out, version of myself, and I see the difference. And it makes total sense that until you work on that with yourself, it's very hard to kind of keep that peace amongst your animals.
Yes.
What do you find is usually the most common behavioral issue? I guess, what is something that you see most commonly that has a very easy change that can be made in the house to improve whatever that issue is, whether it be behavioral or, yeah.
Yeah. Well, often people, there are a few things. People usually are focusing on what they don't want
Okay.
in their dog, cat,
Right.
whoever, rather than what they do want. And a lot of times we're not living in the moment. Animals live in the moment. They're tuning into whatever's happening in the moment. And we humans, we're usually caught up in the past, what's been happening, or where is this going? How are we going to correct this? How are we going to fix this? We're in the future. We're never really in the moment. And so often we're showing up to the moment and our dog is like, okay, what are we doing? Where are we going? Who are we talking to? Oh, right. I nip or I jump. Oh, okay. Right. And they're tuning into it depending on the animal, but often they're reading us and feeling us. It's the pheromones, it's the scent, it's the energy, the visuals in our head that we're projecting. And so I'll usually say, be mindful of where your energy's at and be in the moment and not deny what's been happening, allow it, recognize it, take a breath, and then really be present and connect into how you want them to feel, how you want to feel, but also too, being mindful of what you give attention and affection to.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing because people will, a lot of times with little dogs walking down the street, people will say, oh, my dog doesn't like people, or my dog doesn't like other dogs. So their dog starts barking, and then the human picks up the little dog and holds them. And so from the dog's perspective, the dog is like, oh, well, I'm getting held in affection and I'm close to my parents' heart and energy. And so it's sort of nurturing and enabling that energy state.
Got it.
So really rewarding the calm energy and being aware of that can go a long way.
Interesting. Wow.
And dogs engage with the world nose first, then eyes, then ears. And usually like when people come in to a house, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, it's like ears and sight, like coming in, it's all this energy. And the dog might be like, okay, well, wait a minute. Like I haven't had a chance to sniff you out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hearing you, I'm seeing you, but like, this is overwhelming.
Yeah.
Oh, poor baby. And like sticking the hand out,
Yep.
like boom.
Adding more to the senses.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Depending on some animals, some dogs don't mind that.
Yeah.
But it can be a huge shift for the better when people are aware of their energy and what they're giving attention and affection to.
Have you ever had a situation in which you there was bad news or bad information that you received or felt that you had a hard time navigating when communicating? And the only reason why I asked that is I had a friend that went and got her like tea leaves read. And I said, well, I have, that makes me nervous because I'm so, I'm not really good at taking things with a grain of salt. I fixate on things, and I would be afraid that if like, oh, you're actually supposed to be here on the 22nd, I would be like, it would affect everything happening until then. I'm not really good at kind of like just letting it add to whatever I'm doing. And she said that this woman had told her, I only give news in which something can be helped or avoided. And apparently she told this man that he had sickness around his stomach and she was feeling that. And he ended up going to the doctor and he had pancreatic cancer. And that's always asking you about that responsibility. Have you ever had a moment in which you had to deliver something that wasn't the most positive, and how do you go about navigating that?
Yeah, I've had those situations before. And when it comes to medical, I'll always say to people, I'm not a vet, disclaimer, check with your vet. I don't like to diagnose. I just want to share what I'm picking up on. I'm picking up on an incongruency within, the heart center. I'm feeling belabored breathing. you may want to just check it out. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Because, I don't want to be like the end all be all word on it. Again, I just want to be really mindful and respectful, but maybe it's worth getting it checked out. And that's happened a lot where they'll come back and they'll say, my dog had congestive heart failure and needed medication. And I'm careful if I'm feeling like, I'm very sensitive to your point, like being on the receiving end of that, not to freak anybody out or not be the bearer of bad news. I always encourage people to get a second opinion,
which I would have to imagine anybody would be so grateful for, because at the worst case scenario is that it wasn't accurate, but I'm sure a lot of people would rather go get that checked out.
Right. Yeah.
Whoa.
And I've had a few people who have come to me in sessions, and they, like, not long ago, there was a cat that was really struggling. We were on Zoom and the cat looked terrible, to be honest. And right away, I could feel that this cat, it was cancer. I could feel that this was cancer. I felt actually it was probably pancreatic cancer. And I said, well, have you been to the vet? Well, no, we haven't been to the vet since last August. And this was it was like 9 months prior. I said, so you haven't been to the vet in 9 months? Yeah, well, it was overwhelming taking the cat to the vet, and we didn't want to stress our cat out. And I was like, you need to go to the vet now. Like, you need to go. Well, but is there something holistic? A lot of times people are like, well, we want to go the holistic route. And I respect every choice people make. But I was like, you need to go into the vet. This is something that needs to be dealt with. At least make your cat feel comfortable. Yeah. There's no need for your cat to be suffering. And sure enough, they brought the cat to the vet. The cat had to stay in the vet, and the vet recommended that the cat be put to sleep because it was suffering. It hadn't eaten in a few days when they came to the session, and they came to me it was a first-time client. I had never worked with them before. They were recommended to me, but that's tough. That's another example of feeling like, because there's a part of me that has a response. Like,
go take your fucking cat to the vet.
Yeah, like, how could you not?
Well, that's my other thing that I like. These are my children. I feel like I am so in tune with them, almost too much. Definitely to a fault. That, like, I can tell when a walk is off. It's very hard for me to understand people that are not energetically connected to their animals at all either. Like, for you to see this cat that obviously doesn't look well, hasn't eaten in several days. I mean, if my dogs didn't eat for one day, I would be at the vet. So that's also a hard thing for me to understand, is like, I feel so deeply connected to my animals that I feel like I just naturally will pick up on a behavioral change. That must be also, like, sometimes a frustrating thing for you too, like in that circumstance where you're like, at the very least, even if you don't have my gifts, you got to take your cat to the vet. But that's like a hard line, I'm sure, that you've had to tiptoe on.
It's tough. I have to be objective, not judge. There have been many situations where the person is making a decision, making a choice that I feel is, if it were me, is insane.
Yeah.
But I have to navigate it like, okay, well, how can I help them sort of see the light in this?
Yeah.
Or maybe, and also what I'm feeling from the animal.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that the animal is like, please help, my human is nuts. Not necessarily that, but like the animal might be like, I am suffering, like I'm challenged. I'm really going through it, and I'm needing a lifeline. I felt that a lot in situations. It comes through that way. Like, where's my lifeline? Like, I'm sinking. I'm drowning, and so it's like bringing the human to that. Like, okay, maybe it would be worth. Like, I know you're not really into Western medicine, but it might just be worth going there. Because your animal might feel better.
Yeah.
It's rough. That can be rough. And after that, like, sometimes I'll come out of those sessions and I'll feel like drained.
I'm sure.
From that, because it's like having to not be like, what are you doing?
Of course. Well, that's why I'm like, on paper, I'm sure people are like, oh my God, what a cool job. Like, you have these gifts, but I'm sure there's this darkness to it too, that you feel, that like you see these things happen, and that's really hard to deal with.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Wow.
There definitely are situations where mistreatment or dogs, animals. I work with all animals.
Yeah.
Dogs certainly are the most common.
Yeah.
Dogs that have been through a lot. There was a dog that I worked with that had found the dog was found alive. The parents were both found dead, and they had been together for a while in that situation. And so I was called in to tune into the dog to help the dog feel comfortable in their new home.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a lot, because I'm also feeling the humans around too, that are like, how do we help this dog? And they're feeling terrible. And the dog's feeling the new humans in that situation that are like, how can we help you? What can we do? And the dog was sort of like, I'm trying to start anew here.
Yeah.
But everybody around me is dwelling on what I've been through and is sort of carrying that trauma and drama into the daily life when I'm just trying to like be a dog in my new home.
Yeah.
And so feeling that too, and having to explain that to the humans, it's almost like being a psychologist in a lot of ways.
Do dogs understand? I read this one time and it shattered my heart, but it essentially said that like when you leave the house to go run errands or whatever, dogs can't comprehend that you're coming back, and that with the stress that they feel is like equivalent to a heart attack for humans. Do dogs understand that timeline of if you leave and you have been leaving, you will come back? Or is there that deep sense of emptiness when you leave them?
It depends on the dog and the relationship.
Okay.
And there can be that feeling of a deep sense of, but that is not the common feeling.
Okay.
Usually the dogs know their humans better than you'd expect them to know. So if the human is like, I'll be back, the human, from my experience, is radiating an energy of, I'm leaving now, but I will be returning. And I'm going, we humans are thinking out our day, like I'm going here and there, and I've got to do this and that. And then I'm circling back. There's a loop. There's almost like an energetic loop, and I'll be looping back. And usually we humans are like, and it'll be really great when I come back because I know my dogs will be really happy. There's sort of that energetic loop that's there, that the dog is like,
clocking.
I'm clocking.
Yeah.
Totally.
Interesting.
Like I'm feeling that. But a lot of times the human is like, oh my God, but what if they have that deep, that can almost be like a human created thing that they're projecting on the dog. So then the dog is like, oh yeah, maybe I do need to be worried about that.
Again, so it all comes back to kind of the energy that you put out there, and that's kind of what they'll pick up.
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to tell me about my dogs, because I thought it was very fascinating that when you came in, you didn't, like you said, you didn't kind of, you just stood there and you let them kind of do a lap around you. I guess, is there anything, number one, have you been picking up, like while me and you are having a conversation and they're sitting here, are you getting things from them? Or like, are you intentional about like, okay, now I'm locking in and I'm picking up on whatever energies? Or is it like, right now, has it just been a one magnetic energy field?
That's a good way of putting it. It is like one magnetic energy field.
Okay.
I'm focused on us and you, but I'm feeling their vibration. Like it's almost like they're in the periphery, not like they are having a conversation, but they're holding space.
Okay.
They're working. And I feel that from them very much like they're working, they have their jobs, they have their responsibilities. You're a collective, like team in that energetically. Like even when I came in, I could feel both of them kind of like, oh, what's here? What's happening? Are you here? Like, get in your place. She jumped right up here and she was barking at me. I felt like, come on, get in your place. This is where you're supposed to be. We have things to do. We're set up. And I feel
my girl, that's my little employee.
She's like, that's what I do. She's like, who, me?
Yeah, literally. Wow.
Now she knows we're talking about her. Yes, right? Thank you. She's like, high five.
Yeah.
And even like the setup, like the energy of the setup, um, the the candle was lit, right?
Yep.
There was a candle lit here, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like the energy, it's like making everything just so is what I was feeling from them.
Okay.
And me coming in, I could tell it was sort of like, oh, here's a wave of that. I was tuning down my wave of energy coming in, so it wasn't like blasting in.
Yeah.
And my energy sometimes can be really strong. Like you were talking about yourself, like being the life of the party. I can sometimes be that way too, where I like come in and I feel like, okay, wow, my energy, my light is like really overwhelming.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I have to sort of tone it down. Also, so I'm not getting like, I don't want people to be focusing on me too,
Totally.
But specifically with animals, if I'm coming into their space, I'll kind of like not mute myself, but just sort of like downshift to a level that is like, accepting, neutral.
Yep.
Yeah. But so, yeah, I'm feeling them like, it's like they're listening. It's like there's like a mindfulness that they have as he's seeing, like now he's kind of moving and shifting, like checking in. He's like checking in on your side of the desk, so to speak. Yeah. And I feel from him too, there's like proud, like pride, proud. I keep hearing like a duke, like the duke, like duke and duchess, like a duke, like the duke in the court or something like that.
Is him?
Him, yeah, like the duke.
I mean, he does run. He is we call him king.
Yeah,
we call him king.
Well, it's like I don't know what the definition of a duke is, but I'm feeling sort of like this, like pride and proud and action, maybe. Like I'm feeling more like king, of course, is at the top of the heap and everything, but there's like maybe the duke, there's a little bit more action or like making things happen or overseeing, managing her. And something I keep hearing. So side note, I interpret energy and best articulate it into our words. And so I almost have like a database of like, words or reference points to describe it. And I almost get this like, kind of like princess, but like punk rock princess. Like
that could not be more accurate. Yes.
And I even feel like, so she's chill right now. But when I came in and she jumped up on the couch and she was like, come on over. She was barking, come on over. And she was sitting here clearly drawing me over here to get in this chair.
Yeah.
She was there. But it's like I was hearing like speed metal or something in her. Like
this could not be more Willa.
Like,
oh yeah,
this sort of electric.
Yep. Yep.
But like the dichotomy of like princess punk rock, princess like not Courtney Love, because she feels a little more.
No, Courtney Love is perfect.
Like, but a little more polished.
Yes, yes.
But like kind of that like princess dress, but like, and there's just like
which is also very similar to me. Which is the discourse here is that when we got Willa, she's batshit crazy, and the whole internet would be like, Christina, that is you in a dog. And the more I like get so mad at her, the more I realize like we have very similar personas in that princess, but like also really edgy and kind of chaotic and out of pocket, and she represents a lot of that.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, like electric.
Yeah.
And she's like, and I feel with him, he's sometimes is like, okay, can you just plug her in? Like plug her into an outlet, like give her a project, like she like, okay, side eye, like can we tone it down? But but both of them, like I really get this energy of him like working and aware in this like Zen sort of way, like very aware of his glimmer, his sparkle, his her too. But she's like,
she's outwardly about it. Yeah.
But he's sort of like there's an elegance to him in a sense, like elegance, sophistication, and aware though of the like how others are taking him in, and like, yes, I am that. Yes, you can appreciate me, you can take me in. Yes, I was pausing because right before we started he was looking into my eyes, and I could feel him having a gift and a talent of like really looking into your soul, like
Yeah.
really a deep, like he was sizing me up, not in a judgmental way, but sort of like, oh, do you
Yeah.
see me?
Yeah.
And I was saying to him like, yeah, I see you, I feel you. And he's definitely an older soul kind
Yeah.
of dog, where she's a little bit younger.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh yeah.
is she, when's her birthday?
She's in January and he's in December.
Oh, okay. Interesting. She's very fiery. Like there's just this
She's
like,
very fiery. But she's such an interesting dog because when I got him, this is my soul dog. When I got him, I was so instantly connected to him. And with Willa, it took us a long time to bond. He was immediately just on my chest, and it was different times that we got. I mean, we got him right during the pandemic where I was working from home full time. We got her at the beginning of my career kind of exploding. I was always traveling. We didn't have the time that Winston and I had, but she was so much more independent. She would, like, I can't sit on the couch without him. He would, like, I would drop dead if I was here and he was over there right now. Like, that would never happen. Whereas she would be in a different room and sleeping. Like, she was just fine being on her own. It took us a very, very long time to connect. And I would say, like, it took, almost a year for us to, now she'll sleep on me. She cuddles with me. She'll sleep under my arm. But it took a very long time. Do they know, sometimes like she'll sleep on my lap and I'll look at him and he's next to me and I feel guilty that like he thinks that she just won a spot. Like, do they understand that dynamic? I only asked you because I'm an only child. So I've never experienced that dynamic with another sibling and having to share. So I have a hard time not making either one of them feel left out.
So they understand that there's room for everybody, that there's enough love to go around. I'm feeling that. Said though, I can feel there being sometimes there are moments of like, haha, like
From her.
Yeah,
Yes.
like claiming, like,
Yep.
and I'm feeling it's sort of like, I'm all cozy here. It's a vibe, like sort of like, and him like, oh,
Yeah.
he knows better. Like he knows, like, oh, you're like, she's kind of like not as evolved as him. He's like, oh, really? You're playing that game?
Okay.
Like, okay, like you're immature.
Yeah.
Like, really? Like, there's enough. Like, you don't need to
Yeah.
play that. Again, I'm putting into human words, but he knows well enough. Like, I'm good. I've got, like, he feels that connection with you.
Yeah.
Like as you said, like you're a soul dog. And I was seeing him connecting soul to soul through my eyes to him, and I'm seeing him doing this too. Like, oh no, we're good. Like
Yeah.
nothing's gonna shake that.
Yeah.
But it's like she's sort of manipulative in a little way. Like she's like plays it up or knows how to push buttons or like, well, I'm gonna claim.
Yeah.
And also too, when you talked about you guys not bonding at first in the beginning, you talked about how you're similar in a lot of ways. I was seeing like her electricity and your electricity, sometimes those electrical currents being like, sparks or like friction, not friction, but like
totally.
Repelling, maybe sort of like, it's like being too similar, or maybe like, sometimes batteries need to be, one battery's put in the opposite way and the others, and you were like connecting too much on like the same electric frequency. And it was sort of like finding that rhythm. But interestingly, I can feel from him being sort of a representative or not a chaperone, but an example, not like coaching her on how to be, but an example of like, this is the vibration where you will fall into alignment. Follow my lead.
Yeah.
And her kind of like, oh, and that's at like the deeper soul level of him. Because I can also feel him sort of like, okay, you need to earn your stripes, kid.
Yeah.
Like
Totally.
you need to fall into line. But him wanting peace and him wanting everybody to get along and him recognizing again at the deep soul level and that connection with you
Yeah.
that she's brought in through love and she's meant to be here permanently.
Yeah.
And so he has a talent and an ability to like radiate an energy to gently shift the frequency in the environment. And she has felt that.
Okay.
Which is kind of an abstract concept, but it's a testament to how gifted I feel he is at the soul level.
Yeah.
Like, and he's aware of that in this, not an arrogant way, but just sort of like, yeah, this is what I do. And he's sort of like legendary or like the mascot, the legend, the Zen master, but who's also like, I mean, even as I'm saying that, I feel he's sort of like, yeah, but I'm fun too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fun. I'm not like,
yeah,
I'm fun too, but very much sort of blazing a path for her.
Yeah.
And kind of calming that electricity.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
100, like, could not make more sense. Does he have anything that he doesn't like? Or is anything that he wants to be vocal about or wants?
I hear him say, I'm hearing like oh, get off my back, or like get off my, like almost like get off my jock. Get off my back though. Now is that, I don't know if I'm taking that literally or figuratively. Has she been on his back, or does she like jump on his back?
Whoa. He has my biggest fear, this is wild, the most crippling thing right now for me with him is being that he's a dachshund. He is very prone to IVDD and back and spine. And it has like sent me into like a depression of like every day I'm so obsessed with him jumping, hurting himself. He had maybe a couple of months ago, he had an incident where he was showing that there was either some pain in his back or his legs. We went to the vet. They weren't really seeing anything. We did an MRI. There was no actual anything. We did kind of crate rest and gabapentin and avoided the jumping, and we have ramps. She is so playful and they'll run and play and she'll jump on his back a lot. And I get so mad. And he got so much better. He was doing great. And then after a period of them playing recently, we're actually going to the vet tomorrow because I can't tell if he's having pain in his back or leg. And I'm constantly like a helicopter mom to her and then with his back.
Yeah. It's like I'm hearing, so I'm feeling him aware of two things. One, he's like, yeah, get off me. Like he feels it. And she's so cute right now with her little pauses. She's
no
like,
mystery.
Me?
Yeah, no mystery.
Like I'm an angel.
You're a little bitch.
As she looks at me.
No, she's a bitch.
But he's like, get off, like, get off my back. Like it's too much. You're extra. But then he's also aware of the concern, your awareness, you're concerned, you helicoptering, and he's kind of like, okay, get off my jock. My back's okay. Like, get off my back about it. My back's but there's two meanings. He's sort of like, no, I'm good. I'm okay.
Right.
But it is worth checking out.
Yeah.
Because physically she's on him.
Yeah.
And it's like, it is a little bit much,
Okay.
but he's kind of like, no, I'm good. I'm fine. Like, don't cramp my style.
Yeah.
Like I've got things to do.
Yeah.
It's all good, mom. Like get off my back. There's that energy to it. But,
is he, do you feel any pain from him?
I feel tightness that comes and goes, expands and contracts. I feel like expanding and contracting. It feels like, it's almost like the muscles tightening around the spine.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like, it's reminding me of like if somebody like jumps on you and you kind of tighten your body to hold your strength to hold them.
Yep.
And then that flex is like a tight flex that's like,
yep.
Now I'm a little sore, a little
Yep.
like soreness from it a bit. It doesn't feel like deep-seated damage from what
Yeah.
I'm getting, but definitely worth being aware
Yeah.
of.
He's, it's fascinating. We do acupuncture every week, and we do hydrotherapy. And lately, after acupuncture, too, he shows a lot of that tightness, which I know can be soreness. But exactly how you said it is when I notice it, it's the tightness. It's not the like arched back, it's not the waddling, it's this tightness I see him kind of have when he starts walking. That's exactly it.
Yeah, yeah, and the acupuncture is lighting up in my mind. So when things light up, that's always like a validation, a confirmation, a yes, yes, yes from the animal, as well as my own intuition being helpful, like the releasing the energy.
Yeah.
Even though like things might tighten up a little bit
Yeah.
afterward, that's still I'm feeling him like, yeah, good, like that feels good.
Yeah.
Spot treatment
Wow.
feels good. Um
Wow. Do they do how do they feel about each other? I know that he's like, I get that whole, but as far as like on a deeper level.
very I'm seeing right away like a yin yang and like so but both very different,
Yeah.
black and white, but fit together
Yeah.
and meant to be together. I mean, literally, actually, right now, they actually look like a heart right
Mhm.
now from my angle. They're little
Yeah, they
tushes.
do.
And that is deep and profound, like soulmate energy that I'm feeling, meant to be Bonnie and Clyde, like very much complementing each other. I like they um there's like a lot of like collaboration. They're very like I'm seeing them both feeling like they're almost like blazing a path or doing things, or they have their jobs, roles, and responsibilities, and like really basking in the light that's shined down upon both of them, and being in that experience together, swaddled in that energy together, and they share that. It's like we're in this together. It's like you shining a light down upon them that's giving them the love, the care, the companionship, the all of it, swaddling them, and they both bask in it and receive it in the same way. That is, it's very shared, and it's like two siblings that are looking at each other, kind of like, isn't this great? Like this is kind of
Oh.
great, isn't it? In a way, but I mean, in my experience, animals do have past lives like humans.
Mhm.
And we have past lives with them, and I can feel like I'm seeing flashes of them going through lifetimes together and reuniting here together. You bring them like it was divinely orchestrated that you brought her in when you did, while
Interesting.
him, him being your soul dog, and him getting to a certain age before you brought her in, but then the divine timing of that, because you established your relationship and connection, there were
Mhm.
things to do. I'm
Mhm.
hearing him saying like, we had things to do. We have things to do. We had things to do. Okay, we're good. And then in she comes in like I was going to say a wave, but more like a lightning bolt,
Yeah.
and shocking things into a new level of alignment.
Yep.
But there's still much more ahead. Like it's like I'm almost even feeling with her, she's just sort of like this, like, you're like shining the facets of in her, like shining the soot off of some facets in a diamond or something with her.
Huh.
Like she's like a gemstone or
Oh, yeah.
something. And there's like, um,
I'm molding her.
you're molding her.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like clearing off the soot or
Yeah.
something. Was she having allergy issues or something like that? Or, like,
We don't know. That's been a theory about her having allergies. Her having these tear stains, which she's had from as a puppy, I know that can indicate allergies. She's been like every time she drinks water, she's been doing this like constant gag, and she rubs her nose a lot after she eats. But we haven't really ever thought about what or tested what any of it could be.
yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling something, like separate from her face and her eyes, like something, um, like I want to say like musty and dusty within her, like musty and dusty, that is, uh, like her inhaling. It's like her inhaling a lot of dust or something, um,
Huh.
and it like, uh, sort of getting like a jolt of something. It's like her inhaling something, and it's sort of uh like it's like a jolt of energy or something that's like sort of throwing her off. Maybe it's just like it could be out. Well, you've got
They
turf.
eat, yeah, well, they eat all the, like, I can't, that's my biggest qualm with them is they eat everything and I can't get them to stop. And that's like my biggest thing about having someone come watch them is like the choking hazard of it all. They like eat things, they hide, they get into everything. She'll rip up toys and try to eat the fuzz. But I'm trying to think of like,
No, it's more like I'm like I'm seeing your wood chips or
yeah,
whatever that
uh-huh,
is. It's like the dirt and the dust, like the
uh-huh,
dust and the dirt or something that is igniting something irritating in her. Like it's
huh,
something to be aware of. I'm feeling like it's like out, like environmental outside. I'm
huh,
looking at your yard for people that don't know what I'm doing. I'm
yeah,
looking outside the window, and it's feeling like and it sort of is like percolating something within her.
huh,
Yeah. Now that said, she's not saying like help, I'm
yeah.
overwhelmed, but it's like I'm feeling it's like elevating her energy.
Interesting. Because she does get these random like bolts where she does this. Maybe you can tell him. She does this thing where when she's really comfortable, if I go to pick her up, she'll like like she'll get kind of aggressive. She won't ever do anything, but she also doesn't like if she's sleeping and really comfortable and Winston comes and like sleeps right here, she gets really irritable about her space. Or even like if I pick up both of them at the same time, she'll try to like cob at him and get like really weird. But then like he'll be sleeping and she'll like lay right on top of him with no problem. But there's something about like someone coming in and like going into her personal space that she'll get really irritable and aggressive.
Yeah. So immediately I'm seeing like her the electrical current in her. It's like she sometimes is like a sponge where it's like she feels there's a sensitivity there. So she's feeling the energy like, and it's like jolting through
Huh.
her. It's like this, like it's like igniting her.
Interesting.
And it's like this it's like a heightened sensitivity, a hypersensitivity to energy and electricity, human electrical current or animal. It's like
Uh-huh.
this like
It
uh
shocks her almost.
it's yeah, it shocks her.
Interesting. Because that's how she acts too. It's very much like you would think she was a blind dog that just got caught off guard. Like she gets really jumpy about it.
Yeah, it's very it's like a sensory sensitivity.
Huh.
And I mean maybe, like I'm sharing this with her too. I'm like suggesting this to her in my mind's eye. So as I'm talking to you, articulating, I'm sharing an energy with her simultaneously of like what if we or anybody came in with an intention of an energy like you
Uh-huh.
imagining, visualizing, you're just sort of turning the dial down in your energy as you're coming in.
Uh-huh.
If you think of it,
Yeah.
just sort of like turning the dial down and going in with a calm
Yeah.
intention. I'm feeling her, it's like matching her vibration.
Okay.
She's saying like, you need to match my vibe. Like in that
Yeah.
moment, like
Yeah.
you need to match, you're not matching my vibe. And like, fuck you. Like
Yeah.
what,
Yeah. Yeah.
like that's too much. But she's responding like, yeah, that'll do. Like that'll work. Like she doesn't mind being picked up
Mm-hmm.
or being close or whatever, but it's like the
Got
electrical
it.
jar.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have one more question about him.
Hmm.
He is so patient with her. I was really concerned about that. Like, she gets away with so much and he is very patient, kind of like you were saying, like he very much kind of paves the way. Something that he has done more and more is resource guarding. He gets out of nowhere, will get like very aggressive about something. Usually if there's a box delivered, he doesn't like randomly a toy that she'll be playing with, he'll come out of nowhere and kind of resource guard it. And he gets this really demonic look in his eyes. And I know when it's going to happen. He kind of gives me, but he provokes me. He'll put a toy in front of him and he'll give me and my boyfriend this like really menacing side eye. Like he wants us to engage, but then he'll be like really aggressive. What we've started to do is we've started to do like a trade system where we will like trade him for the toy for a treat. But I guess, is there a specific reason why he does that? And does that have anything to do with bringing another dog into the picture?
Let me tune into that with him. He is
so weird. His eyes just got so big when you said that. Like he was fast asleep and he just woke right up when you said you were gonna tune in.
So it's a way for him to it's like he's wanting to engage, and he's recognizing, he's, with you, for example, he's like wanting to engage and he's wanting to interact. And then because of her and the possibility of something being taken or the competition, that's where the energy of like possessiveness comes in. But he's like wanting to engage with you, but then he loses himself in the moment. Like it's almost like, not in the way that she has the electrical current going through her, but he's like, it's almost like overwhelmed with the possession of it. He loses himself, but he's wanting to engage, but it's like he's crossed. That's where his almost like animal instincts kind of kick in. And I'm feeling that it depends on, as I'm tuning into him, it's like depending on how much energy is built up within him. Like so, if he's been more active during the day, or you're on walks or you're doing things or whatever, I'm feeling like that really like feeds the spirit, balances him out. But then similar to us, like if, you haven't worked out in a week or whatever, and
built up.
Yeah. You're kind of punchy.
Interesting.
But it's like, he wants to do something then. So he's choosing to do this, but then he's like, he's getting irritable about it.
Got it.
And spinning. The trading is a good way of just sort of shifting that.
Okay.
And I'm feeling with her, there is a little bit of like, this is mine, know your place. You're a little out of line, like claiming role and position. And like it's kind of sparking something within him a bit. But I'm feeling with him, like the more he's plugged into his own outlets, it sort of softens that. It's like built up energy, but he's kind of, as I'm tuning in and reading him a little bit more on it, because he's sort of like, well, no, it's not a thing. It's not a problem. Like he's not really analyzing himself in that.
Okay.
He's more like, well, no, I just want to engage. I just want to play.
Yeah.
And then it's like he's saying, well, but I don't know what happened. Like, I don't even know what happened to me. Like the devil side takes over.
Yeah. Interesting.
And then I'm seeing him feeling you guys like, okay, what?
Yeah. What just happened?
Yeah. What just happened? And he's sort of like, well, you don't know. I don't know. Neither of us know what just happened. And he's sort of like, huh?
Yeah.
And in that, I'm feeling guided to say to you, just like be mindful of the energy, the question marks that are above your head and air bubbles, and erase those question marks and give like calm, confident answer statement. Visualize like, it's all good. Like you're all right. Are you finished?
Yeah.
And then it's sort of waiting for the calm in a way. Like,
got it.
You can trade though, but it's like he's spinning like a little top.
Yep.
And then he's like, wait, what just happened?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Don't fuel it. Kind of allow the external environment to be calm until he kind of comes out of it.
With clear intention about what, rather than like,
You're right. Not to show that, because I do show that when he gets like that, and I'm sure he picks up on that.
And that's human nature, because we're like, this is out of character. Why is this happening?
Yeah.
So just maybe question it for a minute, a second, 30 seconds. Like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
And take a deep breath. Breath work is really important. I tell people that all the time. People don't realize they're breathing very shallowly, and dogs will feel that. And it's like,
yeah.
And then it kind of brings that clearance. That erases the question marks in a sense. And then he kind of will snap out of that.
Got it. Are they happy?
I like beyond. I mean, I see them, again, this is me interpreting the energy. I see them like a royal parade where there's like the gold, like the harem carrying on the handles and like the platform, like gold. And there's like the workers carrying the two of them, like parading and like, charmed life. Like I'm feeling from both of them, there's this shared energy of like, what's on the agenda today? Like new day. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Where are we going? Who are we talking to? Like, what are we doing? This is great. Everything is served on a gold platinum platter energetically, like them feeling like it is served. This is great. And it's not a place of like neediness, like been on the other side of the tracks and like, oh, this is so great. It's more like, no, we deserve that. It's like abundant, like very abundant, but like basking in the abundance. But also very, again, they're sort of in this kind of heart shape and a heart extension. I always pay attention to this stuff for what it's worth or not worth, but a heart extension from you. They're extending out from you. I'm even seeing them like extending out from your root chakra where you're sitting, root, tribe, family, pack, an extension of your root. You're wearing the red streaks in your top, the red, red root chakra. Very much rooted and connected and blended, really feeling that pack energy. And even as you said earlier, like you're so tuned into them and you don't miss a beat with them. I could feel them a little more him first and then her like, yeah, like backing him up, but like, oh yeah, we are really, like in a situation like this, I see it's almost like an infinity signal, figure eight from your heart to their heart, like a triad triangle, and like figure eight back and forth from your heart, back and forth from your heart, back and forth back to each one of them, three of you here, this like sacred triangle, but with the figure eight connection, which to me is that clarity and understanding and appreciation of your relationship that they appreciate you appreciating.
Oh, that makes me really happy. That was like also just very, I've never done this before, but it's like you would say things and they're just like very much in alignment with what we're dealing with them right now. And like Kelsey, like the way that Willa was described is like so Willa. Wow. I want to have you over like every day. This is like, oh my God, I could talk to you for hours. Wow. I'm like, I don't even know how to come back from that. We're at an hour and 13 minutes. This is a 45-minute podcast. This was like the most amazing thing. Thank you so much. This was like truly the greatest. I feel like, I don't know. I feel very fulfilled. Please tell everybody how they can follow you, how they can work with you, anything that you want to plug.
My website's michaelrburke.com, BURKE, and that's where you can learn about my services. I'm available for sessions all over the world. I am on Instagram at Michael Burke Official, same as TikTok and YouTube and Facebook. And my book, Intuitive Animal Communication, is available everywhere. Audiobook, Apple Music, Amazon, everywhere.
And we'll have all of those links in the YouTube description. If you guys have the ability to work with him, do it. This was so wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, this was like such a blast. I bow
down to them.
Yeah, no, and it's so accurate. They know their royalty. Thank you guys so much. We love you, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Thank you.
Bye.